Once upon a time, in the heart of Oke Aje, there was a boy named Dayo. Dayo was born into a family known for being strict but loving. His father, Baba Lao, was a retired headmaster who believed in rules and hard work. His mother, Madam Ronke, was a trader who sold yam flour and smoked fish in Oke Aje markets. They didn't have much money, but they had strong value and high hope for Dayo. From a young age, Dayo was different. He didn't like sitting still. While other kids helped with chores and studies, Dayo was chasing chickens, throwing stones at mango trees, and playing pranks. One time, he tied a goat to the village chairman's bicycle. His father often shook his head. This boy is a roaming spirit, he would say. He would either be great or bring trouble. Dayo's behavior got worse as he grew older. He barely passed secondary school and never cared about learning. When his parents told him they have saved for his university, he laughed loudly. School are for slow people, he said. I will also make big money. He renamed himself Tog D and copied the styles of rappers he saw online. He wore saggy jeans, fake gold chains, and wandered around like a local celebrity. He spent time in beer parlors, teasing market girls and disrespecting elders. His parents tried everything to help him. They had prayed, even sending him to live with a street uncle. But Dayo always come back more stubborn than before. To the villagers, he was a clown, but to himself, he was a king. Mama Ronke did not even bring him up to the market anymore. Every time he came, he would cause drama, joking too much and embarrassing her. She would hiss and say, "Stay at home. You only come here to disturb peace." One rainy evening, the sky was dark and the air smelled of wet earth. Mama Ronke was packing up her goods at the market. Her clothes were soaked and her hands were cold. She looked tired. Dayo passed by, throwing suya. He didn't stop to help. Mama, he said casually. She looked up. Dayo, my son, she said softly. Remember what I told you when you were small? Never looked under your leg in the market. He laughed. Mama, the old stories again. I'm not a child. Our eyes were serious. This market is not ordinary. Spirits work here. Not everything is what it seems. If you bend down and look under your legs, you will see the truth and it can destroy you. Early that morning, he had talked with his friends about the tale. They had laughed and dared each other to try it. Curious but dismissive, Dayo asked his mother to hear what she would say. Even after a clear warning, he had already decided. Mama Ronke shook her head. That is why I don't even like bringing you here. You think everything is for a joke. But Dayo wasn't listening. The next morning, Dayo sat at the buka with his friends, munching on akara and talking loud. Someone brought up the topic again. Did you guys hear about the old tales that says don't look under your leg in the market? Dayo banged the table. All of this is rubbish, he said. I would go look under my leg. You guys should watch and see. Nothing would happen. They begged him to stop. Dayo, please don't try it. This is not something one should be playing about. But he stood tall, proud, and stubborn. He marched straight to the center of the market, dust rising beneath his slippers. Women selling vegetable paste, the meat seller froze, even the wind seemed to whoosh. With a wide grin, Dayo spread his legs, bent down, and looked. At first, Everything seemed the same. Then the color of the market drained away. The noise from the market sellers disappeared. A heavy silence took over. Through his legs, the world flipped. He saw people walking backward, their face blanked like marks. Smoke floated through the air, and the time felt frozen. Then he saw a woman. No legs, no shadow. She glided like mist. Her wrapper floated. Her eyes burnt red. No mouth, no nose, just two holes. She stared into his soul. She lifted one hand slowly and pointed to him. Dayo screamed like never before. He fell back into a trader's basket, knocking over pepper, fish, and gari. People shouted, some ran, others stared, but no one helped him. His friends disappeared. He was alone. That night, Dayo laid on the floor, shivering and mumbling. He did not eat, he did not talk. His body shook like someone with cold fever. His parents rushed him to the herbalist. Leaves were burnt, words were chanted. Still, Dayo only stared into space. The pastor came. Holy water, anointing oil, nothing worked for Dayo. He whispered, red eyes, she saw me. Everyone thought it would get better, but they were wrong. That same night, around 2 a.m., Dayo sat up suddenly. The room was dark, but he could see her. The ghost woman stood at the corner of his room, her head tilted, watching him. He screamed. Baba Alao rushed in with a lantern, but she was gone. Every night after that, she came back. Sometimes she stands outside the window, sometimes behind the curtain, and sometimes sitting at the edge of his bed. Dayo cried, begging, praying, but she only stared. 3 days later, while trying to fetch water, Dayo fell to the ground. His body froze. He couldn't move his leg. He couldn't lift his arm. They rushed him to the hospital. Tests were done. Doctors were confused. His body is fine, they said, but something has locked him inside. At home, Baba Alao called all elders. They prayed. They called an old seer from a nearby village. The seer looked at Dayo and said, he crossed the line. He opened the gate. Only the one who showed herself can close it. The seer prepared a ritual. They went to the market at the middle of the night. A small pot, a bows, a white chicken, and Dayo carried on the mat. They placed him at the exact spots where he had bent down. The seer began to chant. Suddenly, wind blew. Light flickered. The ghost appeared. Eyes burning, floating slowly. Everyone froze, except the seer. He held up the chicken and whispered, he is sorry. He is ready to learn. He slit the chicken's throat. The blood touched the soil. The ghost paused, then disappeared into smoke. Dayo blinked, then moved a finger, then an arm. By dawn, he sat up. He was weak, but he was free. He did not talk much at all, but his action changed. He shaved his hair, stopped wearing fake chains. Dayo helped Mama Ronke at the store. It told young boys, I was proud, don't be like me. Respect the old ways. He joined Baba Benge's tailoring workshop, learned how to sew, took small jobs. The market women forgave him. The elders watched him. He never went near to the center of the market again. Today, when children play too rough and act too proud, parents in Oke Aje whispered, remember Togdi, the boy who looked under his leg. Everyone nods, everyone remembers. Because in Oke Aje, you don't need to enter a forest to find spirits. Sometimes they follow you home. The moral of the story is clear. Pride goes before a fall. Our ancestors left behind wisdom not to be mocked. Thank you so much for watching the story. I hope it kept you at the edge of your seat from the beginning to end. To all my returning subscribers, thank you for always coming back to listen, to support, and to keep the stories alive. If this is your first time here, welcome. Please make sure you subscribe and turn on your notification. Until next time, thank you for watching again. Bye.